In the quaint village of Gokarna, nestled along the coast of Karnataka, lived a young man named Ayaan. From a young age, Ayaan had a passion for running. The coastal trails and rugged paths of his village served as his training grounds, and the ocean breeze was his constant companion. His dream was to represent India in the Olympics, a goal that seemed almost impossible given his circumstances. Ayaan's family was not well off. His father worked as a fisherman, and his mother sold handmade crafts to tourists. They barely made enough to cover their daily needs, let alone support Ayaan's aspirations. Despite the financial constraints, Ayaan's parents believed in his talent and determination. They encouraged him to pursue his dream, even if it meant making sacrifices. Ayaan trained tirelessly every day. He would wake up before dawn, run along the beach, and then head to the nearby hills to build his stamina. His dedication did not go unnoticed. Coach Raghav, a former national athlete who had settled in Gokarna, saw potential in Ayaan. He decided to mentor the young runner, providing him with the guidance and training he needed. Under Coach Raghav's tutelage, Ayaan's skills improved dramatically. He began participating in local and state-level competitions, often emerging victorious. However, the dream of reaching the Olympics seemed distant. The cost of traveling to national competitions, let alone international ones, was prohibitive. Ayaan's family could not afford plane tickets or accommodation. Despite these challenges, Ayaan did not give up. He worked odd jobs in the village to save money. He would help fishermen with their nets, assist tourists with their luggage, and even worked as a delivery boy. Every rupee he earned went into his Olympic fund. The villagers, inspired by Ayaan's dedication, started contributing as well. They organized fundraising events, sold crafts, and held marathons to support their local hero. One day, Ayaan received the news that he had been selected to represent India in the Asian Athletics Championships. It was a crucial step towards qualifying for the Olympics. However, the competition was in Tokyo, and the cost of travel and stay was beyond Ayaan's means. His family and the villagers pooled together all they had, but it still wasn't enough. Desperate and determined, Ayaan decided to reach out to the broader community. He started a crowdfunding campaign online, sharing his story and dreams with the world. The response was overwhelming. Donations poured in from all corners of the globe. People were moved by his determination and spirit. Within weeks, Ayaan had raised enough money to cover his expenses for the trip to Tokyo. In Tokyo, Ayaan ran like never before. He broke his personal best records and secured a spot for the Paris Olympics 2024. It was a moment of triumph not just for Ayaan, but for everyone who had supported him. The village erupted in celebration. There were fireworks, music, and dance. Ayaan's parents were overwhelmed with pride and joy. As the Olympics approached, Ayaan faced another challenge. The cost of traveling to Paris, along with the expenses for training and accommodation, was staggering. Once again, the village rallied behind him. They organized larger fundraising events, sought sponsorships from local businesses, and intensified their efforts online. Ayaan continued to work hard, never losing sight of his goal. One evening, as Ayaan was training on the beach, he was approached by an elderly man. The man introduced himself as Mr. Sharma, a wealthy businessman from Mumbai who had been following Ayaan's journey. He was deeply impressed by the young runner's perseverance and grit. Mr. Sharma offered to sponsor Ayaan's trip to Paris, covering all his expenses. In return, he asked for nothing but Ayaan's promise to give his best performance. With Mr. Sharma's support, Ayaan flew to Paris. The city was a world apart from his humble village, but Ayaan stayed focused on his mission. He trained at the Olympic facilities, honing his skills under the guidance of the best coaches. The anticipation was palpable as the day of the race approached. On the day of the race, Ayaan stood at the starting line, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nerves. The stadium was filled with spectators from around the world. As the race began, Ayaan pushed himself to his limits. He ran with the strength and determination of someone who had faced countless obstacles and overcome them all. As the race progressed, Ayaan found himself neck and neck with the world's best runners. The final lap was a blur of speed and adrenaline. Ayaan could hear the cheers of the crowd, the pounding of his heart, and the rhythm of his own breath. In a dramatic finish, he crossed the line, securing a bronze medal for India. The stadium erupted in applause. Ayaan's eyes welled up with tears of joy and relief. He had done it. He had achieved his dream. He had overcome every hurdle, every challenge, to stand on the Olympic podium. The Indian flag was raised, and the national anthem played. Ayaan stood tall, his heart swelling with pride. As Ayaan stepped down from the podium, he was approached by a young boy from Karnataka who had been watching the race with his family. The boy looked up at Ayaan with wide eyes and said, "I want to be like you when I grow up." Ayaan smiled and knelt down to the boy's level. "Remember," Ayaan said, "it's not just about winning. It's about never giving up, no matter how hard it gets. Always believe in yourself and work hard. You can achieve anything you set your mind to." The boy nodded, his eyes shining with determination. Ayaan ruffled his hair and stood up, looking around at the stadium, at the crowd, and at the future that lay ahead. He knew that his journey was just beginning. There were more races to run, more challenges to face, and more dreams to achieve. As he walked away from the stadium, Ayaan thought about his village, his family, and everyone who had supported him. He knew that he could not have done it without them. He was not just running for himself, he was running for all of them, for everyone who had ever dared to dream. And with that thought, Ayaan smiled. The future was bright, and he was ready to embrace it, one step at a time.